Michael Bratton joining us. He is the host of that SEC podcast. Michael, always great to see you. Let's start in the portal. We don't think you're in the portal. You're behind a microphone, but what should we expect in the portal over these next few weeks?
I mean, it's been madness, Paul, and it's not even been a week. Half the SECs got at least 10 players in the transfer portal, and three of them in particular I got my eye on, Paul. A&M's got 19. Arkansas's got 14. Ole Miss, they're getting ravaged, but Alabama as well, Florida, throw them into the mix. But I think the three you really got to look at, Alabama, Arkansas, and A&M, because they all underachieved based on expectations of those fan bases going into the season. The transfer portal can be a blessing or it can destroy you. Are the locker rooms, are the programs under those head coaches, are they trending down? I think you can make the argument for all three. At the same time, we look at guys like Brian Kelly, what he did at LSU, Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. The transfer portal can, in a single offseason, revitalize your program. So I think those are the three that we got to watch the most: Alabama, Arkansas, and A&M. What do they do? Because they're losing guys like crazy. Who are they going to add to make up for these losses? And that's the biggest question in the SEC to me right now.
Yeah, Michael, let me start with Alabama. I've read various accounts, a couple of players in there that are well known, but maybe we're never going to make a big difference. But one in particular, I think, could have made a big difference, and that's JoJo Earle. At the one position, Alabama did not need to lose experience at the wide receiver position. Anything to read into that decision and some of the other ones you're seeing?
I think at surface level, Paul, you could say that, maybe they don't have faith in the coaching staff right now to develop them. I saw an interesting stat, Paul, for the first time since 2013. There was no quarterback, running back, receiver, or tight end first team all SEC under Nick Saban at Alabama. So development seems to be an issue. You go back to 2021 recruiting class, it was rated #1 in the country. There's about 5 or 6 players on that of the 25, 30 guys they signed that are contributors. So development is certainly an issue in Tuscaloosa right now, in my opinion. And Bryce Young saved them so many times. We have to assume he's off to the NFL. Are they going to add a quarterback? Are they going to go into next season with some talented yet inexperienced guys that I don't think are going to be up to Bryce Young's caliber? I mean, it would be crazy to suggest that. So, again, going back, this is a pivotal offseason for Alabama, and this is with the fan base is completely out on both coordinators. And we haven't even got to that aspect of all this. This is going to be and again, Georgia has surpassed Alabama. I said that on this program. Georgia's looking at 2 national championships back to back. That cannot sit well with Nick Saban.
No, it can't. His defenders continue to dig in, as you know, Michael. Let me ask you about Arkansas. That was the lovable puppy we all love to cuddle and pet and talk about what a great guy Sam Pittman is. He's still a great guy, but his team doesn't look too hot after a major disappointment. What does it look like down the road for him?
Yeah, and he just lost his best assistant to UNLV. Barry Odom gone. Barry Odom won them, a handful of their top wins over the last 2 seasons. So this is going to be another critical decision. And like I said, they're getting ravaged by the portal right now. That could be bad or it could be good, Paul, because just based on how the season's played out, based on what I'm hearing, there's some division in that locker room. They're getting KJ Jefferson back. They've got one of the best running backs in the SEC in Rocket Sanders. As long as Kendall Briles comes back, I've got confidence that the offense will be fine. But the defense, it's going to be very, very difficult, short of maybe Jim Leonard, who I don't think he would have interest going to Arkansas. Short of that, I don't know how you upgrade over Barry Odom. So how Sam Pittman handles this is going to be paramount. How do they attack the transfer portal? They got more money than they know what to do with in some of those big-time businesses down there in Arkansas. Will they spend in the NIL? Because at the end of the day, the transfer portal, I think, regardless of what anybody's telling you, Paul, and you know this, the number one, all these decisions are going to be based on NIL. And we need to see commitment from a program like Arkansas if they're going to land some premier players out of the transfer portal like they have done the last season or two.
Michael Bratton with us. Michael, we let's save A&M for last, because they pretty much almost finished last in the SEC this year. everyone keeps focusing in on what will Jimbo Fisher do at the OC position. And today, I'm going to let you share this news with the audience. A new name has surfaced. I'm sitting down. I advise the audience to sit down. Hit us with your best shot.
Bobby Petrino back in the SEC, pairing him with DJ Durkin, no less, Paul. I mean, is Les Miles available? Is Jeremy Pruitt available? These may be the next guys there in College Station. My biggest question is, what is the motorcycle per diem for coaches down there in College Station? But I kid. I mean, Bobby Petrino, if nothing else, Paul, this is going to be entertaining if he is the choice by Jimbo Fisher to be the offensive coordinator and play caller. And just given Petrino's background, there's no chance, Paul, that they're bringing him in there to be a Daryl Dickey. No disrespect. He's going to be calling the plays. He'll stand up to Jimbo. We know that Bobby Petrino, he'll walk out on a job midway through the season if things are not going his way. So you cannot tell me that they're bringing him in there just to be a placeholder to Jimbo can take this offense at any point in time. So hey, if nothing else, Paul, they're getting a brilliant play caller. And if things continue to trend downward, right there, you got your interim coach once they fire Jimbo in the middle of next season, Bobby Petrino, the next head coach at Texas A&M. How about that?
Yeah, and Petrino's at Missouri State, I think. I'm not really sure or care. I mean, you have to give Jimbo credit for coming up with the shocker of the year. Do we know anything else other than this being reported and speculated?
No, I mean, this just dropped about an hour and a half ago, and it's going wild. So I hope it happens. I don't think it's gone very far down the road, Paul. We've already seen a handful of these coordinator positions reportedly. I mean, there was Dan Mullen rumors to South Carolina, and you know how these things go. That next thing you know, they're after an Arkansas tight end coach. So, I mean, things can go sideways in a hurry. But again, like I said, if nothing else, this is going to be spectacular entertainment. I'm praying, I'm hoping and praying that Bobby Petrino back in the SEC. And like I said, what other disgraced coaches? Can we get Jim McElwain back in the league? Pruitt, Les Miles. What's Tommy Tuberville doing? I don't know. Is he available? Houston Nutt. Bring them all back.
Tuberville's actually got a real job in Washington, D.C., serving the good people of the state of Alabama. Michael Bratton, thank you for being with us, bringing us some good cheer 2 weeks and 2 days before Christmas. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Michael.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Michael Bratton, that SEC podcast. And again, we wanted to gently give you the news that Bob Petrino.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Bob Petrino, who was the Arkansas head coach and then fired in absolute disgrace, and really been disgraceful almost everywhere he's ever been, could end up being the new offensive coordinator at Texas A&M. We'll get your reaction to that.